All right, here we are. Hello, everybody. Apologize if we are a little bit tardy. I don't know if this is like par for the course for us to start like 5 minutes late every DAO hall, but maybe we'll be more punctual going forward. All right, hello, Devin, Nico, and big welcome to Kate and Tony.
Hello.
I think this might be your first streaming on a DAO hall. It's good to have you guys.
Hey.
And hello, Jeff, of course.
Indeed, welcome.
Devin, it's good to see you mobile again and in the car.
It's only so long you can avoid it.
All right. So yeah, we've got some good stuff lined up for today's DAO Hall, and as usual, for everybody tuning in on YouTube, feel free to comment, ask questions, like, share, etc. We'll be happy to answer anything you guys want to catch up on. So, all right. Lots of hellos there on YouTube. Hi, guys. All right. So we're going to kick off with our basic intro. And it's we always try to feature different core team or DAO members on the stream. So we're going to be giving a spotlight over to Kate today. So, Kate, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself and what you're up to, what you love to do, and why you're here at the Proof of Good DAO.
Hi. Okay. Well, let's see. I'm an artist. I do a lot of traditional stuff, but lately I've been doing digital stuff for Proof of Good. And because I'm in the NFT space, but I grew up in the South of New England in the United States. I live in North Carolina. Let's see, my parents are classical musicians. And I went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, and I've lived in a lot of places and enjoyed knowing a lot of really great people. And I ended up finding Proof of Good on the Humanity Project Social Impact NFTs on Clubhouse, because I used to pop in there and see what I could do to help out in any way I could, because the NFT, sort of the entire arena, most everyone wants to help. So it was great to find that. And I think, Jeremy, you might have been in there one day, or someone with Proof of Good was talking about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Because I mean, it's nice to do things, but it'd be great to galvanize that and make it have a real impact in a fun and just really smart way. And so I went over and checked out Leyline and Proof of Good, and I'm super happy I did, because it's an amazing organization, and I hope I can help out as best I can. All right. Thank you.
Oh, that's amazing, Kate. And I have to say, seeing things behind the scenes, Kate is just a straight up powerhouse. She is just constantly producing, active, contributing, brings this like wonderful vibrancy and light to the core team. So it's so great to have you, Kate, really, as part of the team. And yeah, big shout out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So glad to be here.
Yes, indeed.
I love that story, how people.
Oh, sorry, Devin.
And just can you hear me?
You're breaking up a little bit. Maybe try again.
No, I was just saying, I love that story of how people. Never mind.
No, you're doing kind of good. We're deciphering it. It's like it's kind of like Morse code. But yeah. And again, I'm so glad you're digging the community and a team too. I really do believe we're just getting started. This is like very early stage in terms of what we're putting together and how big this whole vision is. It's like incredibly ambitious. So yeah, it's a pleasure to have you, Kate. Thank you so much for sharing. And all right, shall we jump into next section here, which is going to be project updates, development update. So I think we can hand it over to Nico, kind of talk through what's the latest going on the engineering and design side.
Sure. Can I actually share my screen with this? I think I should be. All right. So let me just bring this page up. So this is our dev environment. And really the thing we're working on right now is to build this very first MVP version of the proof of good ledger. So what you see in here is not ready to be released to live, but that's our end goal currently for the very first version of the ledger. It's all built currently with mock data because we have a number of dependencies so that we can actually get things recorded on ledger on displayed. But this is just to give you a quick taste of what it's going to look like. So yeah, we'll have a new tab in here on the Proof of Good website with just an access to the ledger, and everyone will be able to see that whether you're connected or not. And the good deeds that you see in here are going to be all the data that is recorded on the blockchain. And we should have, it categorized per, the different good deeds categories that you've done and the oracle it's associated to, plus the good point that people have earned for it. So that's work in progress, and this is really our end goal. So I'm showing you this really at the end, but if we go back to what is the work being done behind is, in order to do that, we have a number of steps to do. One is to collect the good deeds from the oracles. So for that, we're working on a manual way of, we are working on automating our manual process currently, which is, it's all being done through spreadsheets currently. And we're working on that part. The second part is to write the good deeds on the ledger. And for that, we need the blockchain and the smart contract ready. So that's another part that we've accomplished recently. At least we have a test version. I'm not sure if you can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, you're coming through great. Doing fantastic, Nico. Uh-oh. Are we losing Nico? Are you muted? Oh, no.
He's muted.
What?
There you go.
No, one second. I think I have a problem with sharing my screen.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it was breaking.
All right,
yeah,
back
so
now.
Okay, so just to go back on this. So yeah, one part is to write on the blockchain, and we have the smart contract, which is pretty much ready. Version has been submitted for audit this week, I believe, still the test version. And then the second part would be to be able to retrieve the good deeds from this blockchain. And from that, we are working right now on an API. So this API will communicate between the oracles and the smart contract. And from that, we'll be able to retrieve every single good deed that have been recorded by any user. So I think we are 1 or 2 weeks away from getting a first version of this API. Right now, this API will be allowing us to manage the oracles, setting them up, and then once they're set up, to write the good deeds leveraging this API. So that's another part of the work being done. And the final part is all the front-end aspect of it, which I was showing you on my screen before. And that part is, is kind of ready, but as I said, we're working on mock data. So that's one thing. So yeah, as I said, we probably, this is difficult to say because there are always unexpected things that come up. And, I think we're 1 to 2 weeks away from that. And the second thing we've been working on, let me try to share my screen again. Is it coming up again?
Just 1 second. I see it right here. Here you are.
All right, cool. Yeah, I hope it's gonna work. So that's just a Figma file, but I think we have a first version of that ready as well in on Dev, and this is really to start creating a profile for the users that will come on the website. So we're working on that in parallel. I don't think I have the latest version we have, but ignore the Oracle integration for now. But really the idea is to be able to provide people to set up their account. So we start with username, email, the wallet address will automatically be filled in. So that's a start of displaying your profile view, and then we'll add up to that with all your ledger profile, where we'll see everything you've done on your own, how you contributed to the DAO, and all the goodies you've done, and all the things you've collected, and potentially all the NFTs that you've collected. So the very first part of this is to be able to set up an email in here, so that for people who did good deeds already via oracles without ever coming to this website, we'll be able to retrieve their good deeds by collecting their email address. So we're working on this setup of the page, plus the recovery process, the verification process of this email, so that once we know that, okay, you're coming to the website, we know your email, we see the email has been doing good deeds on the database, then we will retrieve your good deeds, on your profile, and granting your points. So again, that's work in progress, really just a sample of what the profile setting page will look like. And I think we're also close to completion on that. But again, before we'll be able to retrieve all the good deeds, we need all the rest finished. And that's pretty much what we're working on now. The UX team is looking at other upcoming topics, which can be finding a way to promote the oracles in the future. So the idea is to have a page where we'll start featuring the oracles and all the good deed activities associated to them, and just to get to know a bit more those oracles and how you can contribute to that. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
This is looking great, Nico. Really exciting. And to all the design and dev team as well. Actually, Hubert has a question, which is, this will all be on a proof of good website, right? On proofofgood.io?
Yes.
All right. Voila. There you go. There you go, Hugh. And I did have a couple of questions as well. One of them was, who do we see as our first oracles that are going to be functioning when we go live with this?
So Leyline is really our first target for now to get on board. So we've most of you guys have been already signing up onto Leyline, doing good deeds in there, and our first goal is to get every good deed that are being recorded on Leyline, to get them on proof of good, at least for new users, and then we look at migrating the historical data onto proof of good. And really the first use case I'd say we work on, which is probably the easiest, is to get everything that currently is being submitted through Google Forms and collected through spreadsheets, is to automate that process, gather all the data, put it in the ledger, and retrieve it in the front end. And we have two other things, which are the Discord API, which, as you know, we have a dedicated channel for good deeds or good acts on the Leyline Discord. Currently, everything that is being done there is just recorded on Leyline, but the idea would be to leverage the API that we are building to go and write those good deeds and grant the points directly into proof of good in the future. That's the second use case. And then we're working on we didn't really start that but we are defining it, is an event system where we'll be able to create event for any oracle, where we kind of create this event in the backend, which could be, for example, a beach cleanup. And by creating this event, we'll generate a QR code and a link for users that attended this event. And then they'll be able to go directly on proof of good by reading this QR code and get their points and good deeds recorded. So that's going to be coming as a further version, but that's something that we're also looking at right now.
Fantastic. And yeah, actually, Hubert mentioned that the good points in some ways will function like an achievement score, and that's absolutely the vision. Achievement points, yeah. That's totally the idea. And, we're really taking in a lot of these concepts that have been tried and tested and proven very effective in a traditional video game industry. Except this time around, instead of virtual achievements that you do inside a virtual game and world, how do we actually tie that to real world achievements and real world impact? So, on top of building this metaverse game, metaverse experience, and this protocol, it's really about building this identity and reputation system. And really everything in this modern world and modern economy often comes down to reputation and trust and identity. So there is something very core that we're targeting here. And the hope is that it creates a very powerful incentive mechanism and motivation mechanism to go out and have the right kind of impact. So it's super exciting. And yeah, that's really that grand vision, is how do we tie and wrap this all together so that it functions and triggers the same kind of excitement and fun and engagement as a video game does, but with really incredible output into the real world. So yeah, thanks Nico for that big update. And there is a segue in our project update section, which is going through our snapshot proposals. We actually don't have any active proposals today, so there's nothing to go through. But one proposal that I think we do need to catch up on is actually, we do have the proposed Oracle for YGG. And we are planning to do a collaboration. And YGG, Yield Guild Games, is actually one of the biggest play-to-earn gaming guilds out there. And then they have a very, incredible focus on eradicating poverty through play-to-earn gaming. So I was just curious, Nico, when we see that potentially happening. I know that there's a pathway where they could tap in and run their Future of Work event through Leyline. Is that currently the plan?
You mean for specific oracles to do the to work through an event system?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the next thing we're looking at after we're able to sort out the first use case of collecting the good deeds and displaying the good deeds.
Got it. So that's probably late or towards the end of April, realistically speaking, if I gather correctly.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
With big caveats, of course.
Yeah, with caveats always.
Okay. All right. Cool. Good to know. I think those are my questions. Any questions or comments from the rest of the crew? Kate, Devin, Tony, Jeff?
I mean, if you can hear me, just to chime.
Oh no, we lost Devin.
On the YGG side of things, I think what we're looking at doing is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think you came through now.
Okay. So what we're trying to do with YGG is not require too much effort on their part of what they have to do, and incorporating everything through Leyline, making it easier to scale once we automate the system on our end as well.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I think as long as we can get Leyline migrated and onto Proof of Good, then we could fairly easily onboard others to function through Leyline as the main Oracle. Awesome. All right. And yeah, big shout out to the Oracle integration team. This is certainly a much more complicated process than we had imagined to make sure that integrations go smoothly, that verifications actually work, and that this is a trustworthy system and that can't be really gamified or abused. So yeah, special thank you for all the folks that are working on the Oracle process and migration. All right. Okay, so I think next section is going to be marketing and events, which is all you, Jeff.
Oh, I'm not on mute today. Oh, wow. All right. Hey, progress. Sure. Yeah. So just some quick marketing updates. One of the issues that we've seen, particularly in our last snapshot, our proposal for the DAO, it didn't reach quorum, right? And so as we continue to grow, we want to make sure that our quorum numbers are representative of a percentage of how active, the DAO is. So while in the past, the quorum numbers or the number required to vote yes or no to reach a representative vote for the DAO, we failed to meet that quorum of 80 votes, I should say. And that was the largest quorum that we had ever proposed, but with with over 350 I should say votes available. Actually, that number has since increased to closer to 450. We should be able to reach a quorum, right? And even then, we're not asking full participation. We're not looking for 100% of those that are eligible to vote. Similar to Congress, if you're part of the US, not everybody needs to vote. Some can abstain. But because we failed to reach that quorum, we're going to be taking some marketing measures to incentivize those who do have proof of good Genesis packs to participate. So sometimes that'll be an incentivized and announced prize. Sometimes that may be an unannounced prize that may yield you a proof of good Genesis pack just for participating and using your existing proof of good Genesis pack to participate in that proposal. So please, we'll be making announcements to this degree. Please make sure that you have joined that snapshot channel, and there may be some incentivization measures that you could also reap the benefit from. I know that we've got some people on the call here who have 8 proof of good Genesis packs. I know that we've got some that have 6. I see you guys on the channel.
I'm collecting a little bit more. Honestly, I'm getting a lot of DM spam because like as soon as I got a pack, people are just like, "Oh, buy my pack." I'm like, "Oh man, this is like wow, very intense right now."
Yes, yeah, for sure. Sorry, go ahead.
But one thing I wanted to add to that too is we also approved a proposal early on for rewarding governance participation with good points. So there's also that as a baseline incentive. So again, once the protocol goes live and you're able to earn points, essentially every time you vote, you'll be able to rack up some points there too. So we're kind of layering again the incentives over and over again. And it'll be on your profile, like, it'll start to build up your profile score of like, all right, check out my good point scores and all my categories, and governance is like going to be an area where you'll grow that score and grow your achievements.
100%. And, it reminds me a lot of kind of like almost a double reward system. When you're volunteering, you're getting that intrinsic reward, right? But as the protocol and the ledger is built out, you're also, making philanthropy provable and profitable. And that allows you to get the intrinsic and the extrinsic value of helping the world become a less painful place, if not a better place. And I like to think both. And while I don't have a lot to talk about right now about all the work that's being done on the ground with our teams on the ground across the world, just want to let people know that, we for the DAO to be successful, please exercise your governance rights to go ahead and vote on the snapshots. And we will do a more public, let's say, a more public announcement about when these snapshots are up for review. We're certainly looking at how to augment that to allow the most participation so that we can continue to raise the level of participation needed to reach quorum, while also making sure that whether it's yay or nay on these votes, that we have the amount of participation needed to continue to move forward. And as that pertains to the last snapshot proposal, we will probably see that rewritten and going back through discourse and maybe a different fashion reproposed to the DAO. But that's more on the governance side. Let's get back to marketing. So in addition to the potential randomized or announced POAP or proof of good pack disbursement for those that participate and exercise their governance, we're also working to do some weekly contests that both reward those within our community and without our community. One thing that I did want to touch on right now is that today is the last day to participate in the proof of good and Leyline and Pepper NFT project for the giveaway for 3 Pepper NFTs. So at the end of today, we'll be doing a draw. You can find this in the announcements channels of both Proof of Good Discord, as well as the Leyline Discord announcements channel. And it's if you're on this call, you probably already qualify for the barrier for entry for that. Joining the Proof of Good Discord, check. Joining the Leyline Discord, check. Earn 500 good points through Leyline. For most of you this on call, this is probably also a check. Join the Pepper NFT Discord as well, and these will be going to those with those minimum eligibility requirements, and we'll be drawing those later today. I'm looking at you, Paul. I know you've got a number. You've got a small army. I believe you're a general in Pepper NFT. Pepper NFT, for those that are not familiar, are a mission-aligned project that want to be in the proof of good business. They are a partner project, not an oracle, certainly not yet. And that would go in front of the DAO if they have a provable case of being able to issue good points and not just trying to support on a philanthropic level. But that comes down to a lot of the oracle work that's being done, which is more of a product thing on Michaela's desk. So I won't speak too in detail about that until there are more reportables. But today is the last day of that contest. We will be making that draw tonight. If you haven't joined their Discord or you haven't earned if you're at 495 Leyline points and need to cross the finish line, now would be the time to do so. We'll be drawing those this evening and awarding those ASAP. Okay. Oh, we've got some more people on call. Oh, we got Paco joining as well. So, hey, Paco. And Devin's joined back again. Let's see what else is going on. So the explainer video and infographics, these are being worked on kind of behind the scenes. If we have a videographer in our midst, especially an illustrator, we are looking for those actively. And if you happen to be or know someone who is an illustrator or videographer, please contact hello@leyline.gg. I'll drop this in the comments right now. And that's not just specific to the videographer and the illustrator role. We're always looking for highly motivated individuals who want to become involved in proof of good, whether that's in a development capacity, whether that's in a marketing or community capacity. We're growing the team actively and looking for those highly motivated individuals who can help drive the deadlines and help us cross the finish line. So more to come on that. Let's see, with respect to time, what else can we touch on? Maybe this would be a good time to move over to the events update. So just really quick on what is happening with proof of good in Leyline coming up, both internal and external this week. I'm going to look over here to this screen. So please excuse my lack of eye contact with you. This week, the DAO Talks hosted by Living with Will, or our very own Will Gaines, will begin again tomorrow, April 7th. You can go over to our Discord channel or follow @LivingWithWill on Twitter and join us for those DAO Talks. Similarly, we will be doing announced and unannounced, let's say, giveaways or incentives for those that participate, because we want this to really take off. And again, once we hit a critical mass at some point, we will hit different tiers within Twitter of promotion. So highly encourage everybody. I'm not going to say that something is happening necessarily tomorrow, but maybe could happen. It could happen next week. I encourage everybody to participate in all of our Twitter spaces. You can find all of our weekly events in the top of the left-hand navigation on your Discord channel. In addition to that, we're going to continue with Happy Hour this Friday, per usual. This is one of our most well-attended events with a regular attendance of 150. For those that are part of the community that want to hop on stage and be a speaker as well, we highly encourage that. We don't want to create this echo chamber where we're just the only ones drinking if you're in south of France or England, or hosting the conversation at the very least. So please join, request the speakership. We'll be happy to hear from the community, and it's often some of the most compelling discussion that we have insofar as these are new users to the community. Maybe they found us on Twitter Spaces, but it's always really great, especially for those who have been working on this project for years, to hear new voices and why people are joining and becoming more involved and engaging with both the community and with the core team and helping drive the project. We're also, based on the poll that Leia launched last week, it looked overwhelmingly like people prefer Fridays for game nights, and so we're figuring out the times on that. There's going to be a discussion tomorrow, so stay tuned for an announcement on that. In fact, stay tuned for a specific announcement of the first game night and what time that will happen. We're trying to make this as international and inclusive as possible, so it may be similar to Happy Hour, where it's a little early for the Pacific. It's a little late for the Philippines, but we want to include as many people internationally as possible. And if you have any suggestions for the game nights, in addition to the Twitch channel games that we'll be having and competitions with members of the Proof of Good team, we're also going to be doing, some more straightforward Discord type games like Gartic Bot, which is a Pictionary or like a trivia of sorts. If you have any suggestions for there, head over to the Proof of Good Discord general chat text channel and drop your suggestions there. We're building out what those game nights look like currently, and we'll have an update in the announcements channel shortly. And then let's see, we're also going to be participating. Let me take one step back. We're working on an impact event of our own. So for those that may have attended the mental health and wellness event that was hosted by Astromojis on April 19th, but presented or sponsored by Proof of Good, they will be looking to do another event sometime around April 22nd. And we will, of course, be a participating sponsor of that event, but that's an external event that we're not exactly hosting. We're a co-sponsor or a presenting partner. In addition to that, there's also going to be a Billionaire Zombies Club AMA on Twitter Spaces on April 12th. All of this will be added to the Discord events channel. Again, that is, if you go to Discord in the left-hand navigation all the way to the top, you can see all of our weekly events that are updated weekly. So please pay attention to that. Please join us for our supporting partners' external events. They support us, and we want to support them. We want to participate in their community. Feel free to, shout out Altroversers fam or Altroversers here. Shout out to Altroversers. Let them know that we're supporting them in the same reciprocity that they have supported us. So that will be April 12th at 9 p.m. And we're going to have some people on our team speak, as well as a number of other projects the Billionaire Zombies Club is working with currently, and it should be a very fruitful event. Certainly Will Gaines will be there, myself as well, and it should be a fun time. Let's see. In addition to that, there is an NFT summit by our close friends and partners, Flick. If you've attended any of the Saturday events that are hosted on Leyline about like introduction to crypto, introduction to DeFi, how to get, how to make your money work for you in the DeFi space, whether that's staking or pooling or farming. They're hosting an NFT summit, which will be on April 30th at 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Pacific, where we'll have some individuals from our team discussing in an informal manner to really young or novice crypto enthusiasts, let's say, about their experience working in NFTs, where the pitfalls are, where there might be some edge, and what their experience has been with the whole industry. I think this is a fantastic opportunity with a really, short to the point event that you'll hear some of your favorites on this on this video right here, speaking about what it is to live, breathe, or work within the NFT space and kind of lessons learned along the way. And then, of course, our big impact event that is our internal hosted event, we are slating for the end of this month or the very early beginning of next. This is going to be our first hosted impact event, and we are looking to do this each month. So last month on March 19th, we worked with Astromojis for mainly a proof of concept and to see what a metaverse event to deliver impact to the most people would look like. We've learned some lessons, what worked, what didn't. And this month, we're really looking to get our own metaverse space. So we're working with a dedicated builder in Terra Zero, and more to come on that. But we're slating for April 30th as well. There will be more announcements on that, as well as some speakership opportunities for those that might also work in the space or those that want to be involved, but probably do this again in Decentraland. That seemed to be pretty great. And so stay tuned for that. That'll be end of month. That's kind of where we're at events right now. I know it's a lot to drink in, but again, if you're ever unsure and want to come support or yell, rabble rouse, whatever you like to do, we're just looking for engagement, and sometimes good and bad is all fine. Please head over to the Discord channel for Proof of Good. Again, left-hand navigation right at the top. You'll see the events coming up for this week, updated weekly.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. And Kate, we know you got to run. So thank you so much for joining us. It was wonderful having you here. And we'll see you soon. Or we see you all the time.
Thank you. Great. Thanks. Take care, y'all. Bye.
Bye. All right. I think we could jump into Q&A. There's a few questions I think that popped up in chat. And then while we're doing that, I think we could start to prep for the POAP drop. I believe we're all set for the POAP, right?
Yes, we are. But one thing
right.
that we want to include is that to be eligible for the POAP drop, head on over. You don't have to drop your YouTube stream right now, but head on over to the Discord voice live stream channel on Proof of Good. And once we've given it some time, the bot will contact you and you'll be eligible to claim your POAP for attending today's event. Again, that is the Proof of Good Discord voice live stream channel.
And I'm actually going to pop the link directly to that channel in the YouTube chat. So you can even just copy that and go, it'll drive you straight to that channel. Just hang out in that voice chat. All right, we got 15 people on already. And then when we hit the button, it'll automatically DM you with the link to get your POAP. So yeah, we're figuring this process out little by little. Hola, Paco. It's good to see you, man.
How you doing, guys?
Good, sir. How are you?
Fine. Late because it's a Spanish thing. So yeah, it's going fine. Actually, I just wanted to add to all the cool stuff you guys have been commenting that we have been working a little bit in making a collaboration with us a bit easier. So we have just prepared. Most of you possibly know it already. A new welcome page. I'm going to share my screen just a second, and then I'm going to drop the link as well on the chat. Let me see, how do you share here? Right. All right, here we are. So that is the new, well, not so new already. It's a couple of weeks old. Welcome page that mostly come from the brilliant mind of Lucas Holter. And what we have here, actually, it's just as to add to what was being discussed earlier, is that definitely anybody can help us at different levels, either by supporting us on social media, or just following us on the different channels, or just getting more involved on what we do every day, either from just devoting a couple of hours becoming a Quest apprentice, or maybe over time, as you can devote more time and you come to know more the team, just join the company, just join the whole little army we are, and come become a Quest hunter with us. As also as Jeff mentioned, any developer is quite welcome to join. If you want to, if you feel like actually you want to start just giving a hand, remember it's here registration form. Thanks, because it's people already contacting us through this registration form. We'll be actually contacting them back quite soon, or just have a look to our quest board, as we have some open tasks over here that we can definitely get some help with. So I'm going to drop actually those two links, this one especially, on the chat right now.
Great. Thank you, Paco. Do we have a bunch of quests for illustrators, by the way? Because Natalie has put her hand up in chat.
Oh, yes, we definitely have. We have many different levels of, from, just the creation of a banner to full illustration of a pitch. So it can go for a small drawing to the 16 chapel. We definitely need different types of, illustrators and artists to give us a hand.
All right. Lovely. So there you go, Natalie. There's a way to plug in if you're interested and want to employ your Illustrator skills. Okay. Thank you, Paco, for giving that refresher. I think that's really critical for us to scale and for setting that all up. All right. So I think we can start to tackle some questions that are kind of floating in chat. I know Natalie had a question about.
And let me just correct something that I misspoke earlier.
Sure.
Thank you, Leia. The community chose Saturday, not Friday. For the game
night.
The Good Games channel. That'll be on Saturday. So stay tuned again, and thank you for helping me read that poll real time, Leia.
All right, there you go. So yeah, Natalie, thanks for your question. She basically asks, because Leyline and POG are separate entities, or she understands that they're separate entities. We have a nonprofit and a protocol, but if we can actually merge the discords into one, because there's a lot of similar people and similar groups within both servers. It's a good question, and honestly, this is not a decision for me. I think it's going to be more under Jeff and Paco's wheelhouse than I. So curious, like your guys' thoughts on whether how we want to handle that, or your perspective.
What question? Sorry.
Basically, whether we should merge the Leyline and Proof of Good discords, given the overlap in audiences there, even though they're despite them being separate entities.
I guess I think over time, once we are going to start onboarding more and more, organizations in the DAO, it can be quite. I don't know if it's going to be more complicated for those who are going to be working only with Leyline, because we're not going to neglect Leyline. We expect Leyline to grow as well. So even though now we are a small team working on both, over time we might actually want to keep them separated, but it's hard to guess right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment, Paco. I think we want to keep the discords as legible as possible in terms of how to get involved. I would defer to our resident Discord expert to give the kind of final opinion or at least opine on this and what would be appropriate. My concern would be that as we continue to build, with a goal of having 100 oracles this year, a lot of them may have their own Discord similar to Leyline, and by trying to merge those, we might make that community too loud to be able to actually find something that is specific for the different Oracle projects, right? So somebody that a project or an Oracle that is focused on cleaning the oceans or removing microplastics from the oceans is going to provide a lot of noise and announcements around beach cleanups internationally, but that isn't so mission aligned with ending poverty necessarily, which is under Leyline's purview. Certainly we want to cross-pollinate those communities, but my hesitancy again would just be creating a channel that is a laundry list of various communities that are that are speaking over one another in a manner that makes it difficult to discern exactly what proof of good is focused on, because as we continue to move towards an IDO and governance and tokenomics, the discussion we will see evolve around those that are looking to support proof of good and the DAO, but maybe aren't so interested in the individual in the individual oracles, and vice versa, right? Those that are interested in the oracles, maybe not so interested in proof of good DAO. I think that if we may have to keep them mission aligned in those communities, or help them grow their individual communities and support the cross-pollination for those that support all. But that's my initial thought. I think it's a very interesting question. I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. And I think it's something to consider as well. Like if we're anticipating scaling both of these organizations, one of the challenges is when a Discord server gets too big, it becomes like very, very noisy to filter through to what are the key content or key messages are. And in some ways, like that's a natural way that communities tend to fragment when they get too big. So there's some merit in having a way to scale this over time, just to add some food for thought there. Okay, but yeah, thanks for the question, Natalie. And as a segue, you also mentioned that you get a little bit dizzy when you're in the metaverse, like Decentraland, etc., and whether or not we're going to do in real life events as well. I believe that's on the docket. Again, this is another one for Jeff and Paco to comment on. If we've got some plans in the works, or at least a vision for what we're going to do with IRL events.
Actually, I'm at least there's one in our radar that I really cherish, and if everything goes great, I may actually meet Mr. Shearer in the flesh in June in Scotland. But I think as we are a global community, we might have to think on real life events in actually different continents. It's going to get a bit complex, but I'm eager, really. It's interesting. I think we have mentioned that in the happy hour, how we have been working together for a couple of years and have never been on the same room with almost any of the people I'm working with on a daily basis. So yeah, I'm all for in real life events.
Yeah, if you can hear me, I think we could center an in real life event around a conference like, NFT LA or NFT NYC, have our own event where I'll have to get you in, and then some other good token kind of event. But that would certainly be something that I think would make sense.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I think there's a unique opportunity as well where we're able to tie that with an in-person live event that's actually gonna, make a difference and help people out. So I know what tends to happen in like Web3 in IRL events today, it's like all partying and drinking. So if we could, diversify the type of activities, like, hey, let's like go volunteer for the soup kitchen together, like, and then we can go party and have a beer afterwards. I think that'd be a nice way to really differentiate ourselves and also make it quite a meaningful experience on top of that. And we drop NFTs, POAPs, and good points too. So yeah, I think there's a huge opportunity for this. And then realistic, pragmatically speaking, a lot of it really does come down to budget. So a big piece of what we're trying to do is create this foundation to develop the product, to do our fundraising, to get NFTs out there for crowdfunding, essentially. With a budget, we can actually put forth these live events. Without that, it's very expensive. So that's just the main thing to keep in mind. And we do want to be judicious about how we're spending resources and money. So we do want to make sure that it's both meaningful and impactful at the same time. But yeah, great question. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh yeah, I would just say onto that, or add on to that, we have amongst Will, Jeremy, Devin, Michaela, a lot of presence at conferences, just even this month, right? And maybe there's an opportunity for satellite events, but I do really like the IRL component, and maybe that's an IRL/metaverse component as we continue to scale. Putting the right people in the right room at our own invitational style event may be more pragmatic. We have those connections with galleries and spaces in LA, in New York, and we're looking to build that out for a potential Web3 conference, first of its kind in Glasgow, working with the Glasgow City Council as well. So more to come on that. And as I have Scottish heritage, I may just have to go to the motherland to see what it's all about. I've been told that it's planned for June 8th to 10th because it's the 1 week a year they can probabilistically expect sunshine. So hat tip to Stephen out there, but he's working closely, and we're evaluating all events. But again, to Jeremy, your point, it comes down to budget and the impact that we'll have at these, right? So, maybe attending a large event that is not targeted for us may not be the best use of budget, whereas hosting our own satellite event at these to allow our community to come out and learn about what we're doing and how to get involved. These, I think, drive the engagement and drive home the impact that we're having worldwide. If I don't have anything to show this week, but if you could see some of the content that is coming out of the desk of Leia and Jamie on our team from the Philippines in the past few weeks, it's one of the reasons that reminds me of why we do what we do. To see, well, I don't want to spoil it. The video will come out soon, so it's all very exciting. But I think staying focused on where we can drive impact and where we can drive the mission aligned relationships, that's going to be the umbrella by which we look at which events are going to be fruitful for us and which are not. As much as I like a cocktail and to talk about the future of Web3s with everybody, to have a beach cleanup or to have a tutor program or to get some kids some food, whatever that looks like, these impact events, I think, resonate, at least with me, a lot more than the cocktail at a fancy NFT marketer's side party, right? So if you have suggestions or working with any events closely, we certainly do a lot of speakerships. I think it's a great way to get the word out. As it pertains to IRL events, I think we're constantly evaluating what is within and without scope. Thanks for the question. That was a great question.
Mm-hmm. And it's mostly, hey, I'm dizzy in the metaverse. How do we not make me dizzy? No, but I love the battery. And Natalie, you had another question. You're on fire today, by the way. I love it. This is like a quick logistics thing. Is there a way to add Discord events into Google Calendar automatically? I am not aware of any way to do that, but I don't know if you guys know, or maybe Hans or Leia may have some thoughts there. But
that absolutely should be a function. And if you learn how, tell me too. I want to know how to do that.
Yeah. Maybe there's other ways we could populate that info, like having an actual Google Calendar. I know we did something for our DAO core team with having a public calendar available. So there may be kind of a secondary solution to that. But I'll leave the team to think about it.
Yeah,
so
it's a great point. Really quick. Sorry, go ahead. Back up.
Yeah, there is an integration on Zapier for that. I'm going to link on the chat right now. It can be done. It can. There are ways to integrate Discord and Google Calendar. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we'll get on the docket. Maybe it's a quest to throw in there.
And I'll just put a bow on that also. We understand that with the alternating schedule for DAO halls to provide access to a worldwide community, not everybody can attend each DAO hall each week or every event every week. We will be creating a newsletter that will keep you abreast of kind of the highlights from these DAO halls, as well as the video once they come out, if you have the time. But certainly, all the pertinent news that that has been discussed this week. It would be very simple for us to add a calendar with the add to GCal on that for those that want to either attend IRL or in the metaverse. So it's a fantastic point. I appreciate you.
All right, and with that, I think we are out of time. Were there any other questions we might have missed to highlight? I think we might be clear.
I think we're clear. I think we've got some people asking about PO apps, but that's...
Yeah, but as always, if you've got anything you want to know more about, feel free to chat with us on Discord, ping us, post whatever it is you need, and we'll get right on it. And otherwise, thank you so much for attending. We're making progress day by day. It's exciting times for sure. And we'll see you again next week, or probably at happy hour or other events that we're doing. We're doing like so many events. So yeah, enjoy. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic evening. Love you all.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.